Alright, what is up? This is going to be the 2021 best of video. This is like the fourth time I've tried to make this video, and I've gotten through it each time. The problem is I've been trying to film on this Fuji camera, which I've been using for photography. The problem that I'm running into is I physically can't make enough space on my iPad without deleting shit that I don't want to delete, you know, to get the video on to edit it. You know, the files are just larger because it's higher quality. So back to this shit, I'll try and figure out something else with that at some point. But before we get into this, I do want to mention that I have started a dedicated photography page on Instagram called Eye of Orlok, which I will also link in the description below. I've been really enjoying photography lately, and I've made some stuff that I'm pretty proud of. So if you'd like to follow my progress there, that would be awesome. I'd appreciate seeing a lot of you guys who enjoy the vinyl stuff also sort of engaging with the other thing that I really like to do. So yeah, follow me over there, link in description. Even though I have tried to film this like 3 or 4 times now, I've put such little thought into the actual order of this shit. I have it written down here because I haven't actually pulled anything out yet, but like I don't think any order of this stuff would really satisfy me, and this feeling gets worse every year I try to make one of these. But before I go off rambling for too long, I say we just get into it with some stuff that didn't quite make the list for one reason or another. First thing is this Narvarog record, Fury and Triumph. This is a really good album. I think it just got beat out by a lot of other stuff, though I do really enjoy this album. I don't enjoy it as much as I do the first one, but Narvarog is great. I'm looking forward to the LP press of this one, I think soon. This one right here honestly probably should be on this list. I've really been enjoying this one lately. I have no idea how to say it. The name of the project is like in Russian. So they don't use our alphabet, so I don't even know how to begin to try and pronounce this. I'll pop it up on screen now. But this is really great raw black metal. Fantastic stuff. This is put out through New Era Productions. Give this one a whirl, man. The new Sepulchral Cult album, Murament, Spirits, and Graveyard Chants. This is Polish death metal. This was sent to me by one of the guys in the band. This one had the unfortunate luck of just sort of coming in at the same time that a bunch of other stuff did, and it just kind of got buried. But this is really great sort of lo-fi death metal. Fantastic stuff. Again, probably should be on this list, but everything on this list is, I felt wrong moving it around. So yeah, great shit. Fantastic. This one also should really be on this list. This is a Zandalar with a People of Medieval Darkness. Really great raw black metal with sort of like pained, howly vocals. This project kind of came out of nowhere, for me at least. It's just one and only release so far. Really great shit. I recommend checking this one out as soon as this video is over. Also, this Spider release, S-P-I-T-E-R, includes the vocalist from Shitfucker and one of the guys from Devil Master with a third guy, but I don't remember what that guy's in. Just kind of nasty, sort of black metal-y punk rock type shit. Really great, but honestly, I think this one just got beat out. And Book of Skelos with Magical Atavism. When I've talked to a few people about this, and every time I've talked to somebody about it, I've told them that this will definitely be on the year-end list. But I don't know, man, just writing it out and actually seeing the competition, it's tough. But I really love this. Kind of fun, just 8-bit music. Really cool. A few records. The new Ifernot, Capitulation of All Life. This is a great record. Really good riffs on this one. The problem is I just got it very recently and I've only played it once, so felt a little bit weird putting that on the list. Same thing with the new Bailecore, Coherence. Really great record. I love everything this band has done. Like I said though, I've only played it once, and as good as it is, I felt weird putting it on the list because of that. And finally, the new Cult de Ghoul EPs, Deeds Without a Name and Eyes of Satan. Honestly, I tried to take an approach with this list that kind of means like if a band had multiple releases, which a lot of the stuff on this list is Grindstone stuff. And since all the Grindstone stuff, you know, each project has like 4 releases a year, I'm just averaging out the releases that I have physical copies of. And, you know, I'm just gonna put them on the list where they fall as an average. Because I really like the Deeds Without a Name side of this, which is more like standard Cult de Ghoul black metal stuff. The Eyes of Satan is a little bit more like droney ambient type stuff, which I don't like nearly as much. So because of that, this one just didn't quite make the list. I guarantee you there's more. Like I said, I haven't pulled anything out, and a lot of this is off the dome, so I could be missing a lot of shit, and I do apologize. I say we just we get into it. Before we do, this is my list, it's not your list. A lot of you guys are gonna fucking hate this list, but even those of you who just think the list is kinda out of order are gonna be pissed off. These videos can be fun, but these are always the videos that get the most fucking complaints. The only rule I really imposed on myself is I have to own the album physically for it to count. And I just do that because when I own it physically, I give it a real proper listen. So with that being said, let's get into it. Number 25, I put the new Panopticon And Again Into the Light. This band, honestly, the past couple albums have not hit me like the sort of mid-era Panopticon stuff. Albums like Kentucky, Roads to the North, Autumn Eternal. That's for me the pinnacle of this band's catalog, or project's catalog, I guess. This album is great. It sounds like Panopticon. It just didn't capture my sort of attention the same way that some of those other albums did. Great regardless. I love Panopticon, and I think I'll probably always love Panopticon. Number 24, I put Zhmach. It's Z-H-M-A-C-H. It's kind of hard to show you. Yeah, there's the album cover there. The album itself is called Euphoria Never Leaves. I think this is not the first thing that this band has put out, but honestly I don't know offhand. This is the first of the Grindstone stuff you're gonna see. This is fucking great, man. When I first heard it, I was thrilled about it, and then when I heard that Grindstone was going to be handling the cassette release, I was, you know, even more excited. This is really good. It's more straightforward black metal than some of the stuff on Grindstone, but it does have a very sort of like wistful feeling to it, kind of dreamlike. I really enjoy this, so give that one a whirl. Number 23, I put the new Shaitan album, Earth. Really great, sort of black metal leaning, like psychedelic progressive rock. I love the imperfect vocal performance on here. I like the really sort of catchy song structures from front to back. This is just a really fun album. And I really feel like Shaitan is kind of left out of a conversation that should include Shaitan a lot of the time. So give it a whirl, man, a lot of fun. Number 22, I have the new Ringare, Thrall of Winter's Majesty. This would be higher up on the list, but I've only played it like 2 or 3 times. I love this sort of super synthy black metal. Great, it's gorgeous, epic, just a good time, and really everything this project has done so far has properly blown my socks off. I think the first release is probably still my favorite, but they're all very similar, and this one is very nearly just as good. So if you haven't heard Ringare, start anywhere. Number 21, I put the new Sarkrista album, Sworn to Profound Heresy. This is another one that could be higher on the list if this year weren't packed to the fucking brim with just fucking bangers. I love Sarkrista. I love the, I've always described this project or band as sounding a lot like Sargeist. And this is no exception. This kind of sounds like the golden era of Sargeist, in my opinion. And I've really got no complaints with this. Just good, nice melodies, good atmosphere. I love it. Sarkrista, Sworn to Profound Heresy, badass. Number 20, I put the new Seal and Beholden in. This album is called To Lloyd to Skoski? Probably not. This is the 4th or 5th full-length album now. This is a little bit catchier, I think, than the last full-length album. But I don't know, this one really didn't, you know, sink its hooks into me like some of the early stuff did. I mean, Seal and Villain is undeniably capable of writing some of the best shit happening in black metal. And as much as I really, really love everything this band has done, this one just, you know, lost out to a bunch of other shit because there was just so much good shit happening this year. So yeah, you know, it being this low on the list is absolutely not a knock against it. This is fucking great. Number 19, I put the new Isak Trillohome with, how do you say the name of this? It's Dieth Requiem for the Serpent Telepath. This is sort of like avant-garde black metal with lots of sort of death metal influences, but really there's influences from all over the board on this thing. This is one man, and this dude is capable of packing so many ideas into a single record, and he puts out records pretty often. I think this is another one that's over an hour long, I mean, it remains super interesting from front to back. This is a great record. Really, everything this project has done that I've heard has been really good. So if you've never heard Isak Trillohome, give it a whirl. Number 18, I never would have thought that I'd put another Cannibal Corpse album on one of these list videos, because I've sort of like, this band has really had a sort of gradual decline in quality over the past 10 years, in my opinion, because I really, really love Torture from 2012. It's probably maybe even my favorite Cannibal Corpse album. And you know, whatever, that's probably a hot take, but I love that album, and this album reminds me a lot of that. This is Violence Unimagined. Really, really great tracks on this one, from front to back, lots of catchy moments. I love it, man. I feel like it's a bit of a return to form for Cannibal Corpse after a few albums that fell very flat for me. So it's good to see this band doing something that I can get excited about again. Number 17, I put Fugitive Wizard with Obscuri Aeternum. This is fucking great, man. Fugitive Wizard, I'm a big fan of Fugitive Wizard, and I have all of the material that's been released up to this point. And this album, in full, I don't think is quite as good as some of the others. However, the first song on this, Eldritch Nights, is easily my favorite song that this band has done so far. That sort of a like synth riff in the song that sort of makes an appearance a few times throughout in all the right moments is fucking great, man. And every time it happens, I can't help but like smile and start nodding along with it. Great, fantastic. I love Fugitive Wizard. There's really no reason for you to not be on board at this point. In the interest of making this more confusing for myself, I'm going off list now. This is not the order I have this shit in. So that makes this number 16. Wait, yeah, number 16. Sanguine Relic, Divine Stygianism, The Bliss and Torment. I, broadly speaking, am not a fan of this sort of realm of like raw black metal, because a lot of it feels so cut and paste. But Sanguine Relic for me has always been an exception to that, because Sanguine Relic is capable of writing really good riffs, and this album is absolutely no exception. I'd really like to talk about this one in like a vinyl update video at some point and go into a little bit more detail. But this is a lot of fun. I really like this album, so if you haven't heard Sanguine Relic, give it a whirl. Number 15, I put the new Barost with Oasis. This band released a couple things in 2021. The newest one has not had a physical press yet, as far as I am aware. I don't think it did. I probably would have known about it. But I love this band. I like that this band is kind of the closest thing we have to like a Black Magic SS clone. But you know, it totally stands on its own as well. This is really, really great, very catchy, sort of psychedelic, black metal, occult rock type shit. Yeah, lots of harsh vocals, clean choruses. I love it. Just a lot of fun. I have no complaints about this band. So if you've never heard Barrost, really start with this one or the one that came before it. Great shit. Number 14, Heaven Fairy with Vile Genesis. Yeah, I definitely different than everything else on this list. Sort of technical melodic death metal, but really fucking great. I love everything about this album. I love the lyrics, I love the vocal performance, the instruments, just super entertaining from front to back. Great song structures, just I love the imagery here. I really have absolutely no complaints about this one. There's some really good songs on this one. Mesmeric Horror is among my favorites. No Gods But Our Flesh, Maelstrom Prison, From Exile to Exaltation. Really great shit, man. This sort of realm of death metal has never been my thing, but Inferi is an exception, and I'm glad they are, because this shit is great, man. If you've never heard it, give it a whirl. Inferi, Vile Genesis. Number 13, this is Kanonenfiber with Minshun Mule. I actually had this one in a video that I filmed that I ended up never doing anything with, and eventually getting rid of it because it was just taking up space. So yeah, I'll probably make it again at some point. But this is really great, sort of like black death metal, but not like the war metal kind of black death. It reminds me a lot of Marduk in parts, but this album is just a lot of fun. I'm glad I could get one into the collection. It's a gorgeous pressing as well, which again I'll go into in a future video. But lots of great riffs, lots of really cool themes from front to back. Great vocal performance on this one as well. Yeah, give it a whirl. Kanonenfiber, Minshun Mule. Number 12, Assassination, Into Space and Out of Reach. This album, for me, was a grower, big time. When I first heard this, I was not into it, especially considering the album right before this, Seeds of the Master, is, you know, up there with my favorite albums. I love it. I love how catchy every single song on that record is. So when I first heard this and heard that there was a bit of a change in terms of like the vocals that I wasn't really sure about, that really only exists in the first couple songs, and even then I'm past it now. But the song Under Wicked Spell, fucking awesome. Up there with the best Assassination songs. Very catchy. I'm happy to finally be able to put an Assassination album on one of these year-end lists, after being a fan for, you know, a couple of years now. So yeah, if you like sort of that weird psychedelic kind of occult rock black metal shit, Assassination is up there with the best in my opinion. Number 11. This honestly could probably do with being higher up on this list. I mean, even top 5 material, maybe. This is fucking fantastic. This is Baazlvaat. It's like B-A-A-Z-L-V-A-A-T, The Higher Power. This is another band project that kind of mixes weird psychedelic kind of funky influences in with black metal, but this did it better than pretty much anything else did this year. Super fun. I love the clean vocals when they pop up are always very impactful. The harsh vocals are really cool as well. There's lots of really kind of funky riffs on here. This is what we've been listening to throughout this video so far. This is one of the things that I'm most excited for having come out this year, because it's very unique. So check it out, Baazlvaat, The Higher Power. All right, number 10. I had to do some averaging again for the 2 Bloody Keep releases that I have physical presses of. If it weren't for the newest one having not been pressed on any physical format yet, this would be way higher, because for me, the new Bloody Keep, the self-titled EP, is far and away the best thing that this project has done so far, in my opinion. And I mean, that would easily be like top 3 material for me. But as it stands, the 2 Bloody Keep EPs, these are a little bit more straightforward black metal than the newer EP. But they're both fucking fantastic, a lot of fun. I think I prefer Bloody Horror more than Cup of Blood in the top of the tower. But they're both really, really great, awesome, sort of staple grindstone releases. Yeah, man, fantastic. So I think number 10 is a good spot for the Bloody Keep releases. Number 9, I put Witch's Moon with Forever Morning Star. This is a sort of send-off release for Witch's Moon. I got into this project pretty late, but I'm glad, you know, better late than never, really, because I'm glad to be able to include this in one of these year-end lists, because it's the last time I'll ever be able to, because Witch's Moon is no more. But this is fucking incredible, man. I really like the sharp guitars. I love the sharp, harsh vocals. I like the keys that make their appearance on here. Specifically, my favorite is probably the first song on here, Spells and Tears. There's a kind of like a clean vocal that makes an appearance in that song, and it's super fucking impactful. I love it. I want to talk about this one more in like a vinyl video, but for now, you know, I'll leave it here. It's done good at number 9 on the list. Number 8, this is actually the first 2021 release to make its way into my collection, and it held up, man. Top 10 material all year. This is Ploho with Phantom Feelings. When I first talked about this album in a vinyl update video, I mentioned that it sounds in part identical to Molchat Doma, and you guys probably know at this point how much I fucking adore Molchat Doma. So, Ploho being a near perfect copy, and honestly I think this is better than most of the Molchat Doma stuff, but it's fucking incredible, man. It's so much fun, very, very catchy. So, you know, from the same area of the world, and making shit that's just as good as the top of the top for like post-punk. I fucking love this band, and I'm excited to see what they do next. Fantastic. Number 7, I averaged out the 2 Masartham releases for 2021. For me, the EP Vacuum Solution is the better of the 2, but the full-length album is pretty nearly as good. This one, the full-length album, has got a silly name. It's CLG J02182-05102. From what I understand, I think it's like a cluster of stars or something. You know, Masartham is themed around that kind of shit, obviously. But, you know, they could have simplified the name a little bit. This one, well, honestly, both of these, Masartham is leaning a little bit heavier lately on, like, kind of techno influences, which has always sort of been there, but these most recent releases feels like the influence is a bit heavier, which I love. Both of these releases have instances where, like, the music kind of drops off and it's just like a beat with the vocals, and it's fucking badass, man. The first song on this one, which I think is called Vacuum Solution, yeah, that's the best song of, you know, between these two. I love it, man. I can't get enough of this project, and I'm glad all these years later they're still managing to put out shit that's as good as the early shit. There's a couple of releases in the middle that I'm still missing, but I'll get there. Till then, this is badass. Number 6, this is the only band that I think has made an appearance before in a top 10, because the rest of these bands never have. Archgoat, Worship the Eternal Darkness. So this one kind of almost has a similar story with the Cannibal Corpse album, whereas you know, they had an album a while back that I really loved, and then it sort of was just like a very gradual decline, and it wasn't capturing my interest quite as much as for Archgoat it would be the Apocalyptic Triumphator, which Archgoat has released a few things since then, and none of them matched that for me. That's easily my favorite Archgoat album. This one feels a lot like the Apocalyptic Triumphator. So because of that, you know, I had to fucking put it on the list, super high on the list at that. And I'm so fucking impressed with this band, man. Over 30 years being a band, still putting out shit this fucking good. There's very, very few bands that can make that claim, and I'm super glad that Archgoat is still kicking and still putting out fucking bangers. Number 5, this project has become one of my favorite things out there, and this release specifically is probably my favorite of the 3 releases that this project has done so far. This is Curtain Wall with the self-titled EP, Curtain Wall. I first heard this when I was in Alaska in May of last year, and to this day, whenever I play this, it reminds me of the first time I heard it. And I don't know how to properly sum this up into a genre, because it's got like black metal influence and it sort of has like punk influence, but there's some real eclectic shit that sort of plays into the final product here, and I fucking love it. It's so much fun from front to back. I couldn't tell you a favorite song, because honestly all 3 of them are as good as each other, but so much fun. If you listen to Curtain Wall and you don't like it, just you and I have nothing in common. This shit's great. All right, number 4. This is a project that honestly I wouldn't have thought that this project would have made such a high spot on the list if you'd asked me this time a year ago. This is Kerez with Flaming Ash. I think this is actually considered a demo, but this was put out through Territor Possessions, and it was pretty accessible for a while, which some of the Kerez shit is super impossible to find at this point. But this is so fucking good. The melodic moments on here really speak to me in a way that almost everything else that came out this year just didn't. But I love the vocal performance on here is absolutely incredible. The guitar work on here is really, I think, what sets this over the top for me. But really just the melodies and the songwriting here is second to almost none on this list. I'm thrilled to be able to put Kerez on one of these lists, and I'm surprised that it's this high up. But this new demo really had a fucking considerable impact on me, so give it a whirl. All right, top 3. These top 3 really could be pretty interchangeable. I've listened to all of this stuff a lot this year, and you know, I'm happy to be able to put this album so high on one of these lists, because this shit is as close to perfection as any project could get. And I'm talking about this. It's Kektarak with Pale Swordsman. This is literally perfect. From right off the bat, after the intro, the first song, when you know the song, I think it's called Thorns, the keys in that song and the vocals, but it feels so emotive and romantic, and you know, that's definitely what this project is going for. But the keys, you know, where they exist on this album, really elevates this. But from front to back, I have absolutely no complaints. The last song on here, the one that's just acoustic with like clean sung vocals, it's beautiful. I don't know, man. I can't imagine somebody listening to this and not loving it. This is another one that I've talked about in a vinyl update video that never got posted, but I'll throw it into one again soon, because I mean, perfect 11 out of 10. I have no complaints, and I'm very excited to see whatever it is that this project does in the future. Whether if it tops this, I'll be fucking blown away. But even if it doesn't need to, because you know, this is just, like I said, it's as close to perfection as I think you can get. Fantastic. All right, number 2. Again, thrilled to be able to finally include this band on one of these lists. And I have a feeling for as long as this band is active, there probably will be multiple releases from this band on every year-end list going forward. I can't see this band fumbling at any point. And, you know, I've really come to love this over the past year. And I am talking, of course, about Old Nick. This is a new generation of vampiric conspiracies. As I'm averaging, I also have Crisp Winter Dawn of My Night Moon and I Am Vampire Castle. As an average, to make number 2 with a 3 release average is pretty fucking impressive for me. You know, I love this band, and between all of these, There are some of my favorite songs. On this one, You Can't Unplug the Haunted Landline is among my favorite, along with a Bastion of Bubonic Debauchery and Vampiric Candle. The song Death in 96 is another of my favorites. On this one, you have the cover of February 1692. It's a Void Ooze cover. That, along with the song Vampiric Witch Ghost, which has like the saxophone sound in it, which is fucking badass. And this one, Crisp Winter Dawn of My Night Moon, with the song Haunted Broom and Witch Cries in Massachusetts. Fucking badass. I hope all of this stuff gets put to vinyl at some point, because there's a lot of old Nick stuff that hasn't been yet. But, you know, to sort of sum this up, it's black metal with no limit on like influences. There are all sorts of instruments used here. The synth stuff, you know, making up a lot of what makes this project kind of fun and special. You know, fuck your purity test. This is better than the 10 millionth Dark Throne clone you've heard since November. I know that this is probably going to be the polarizing pick here, the most polarizing, because there are people who just can't stand the fact that black metal is not just another Mayhem clone. And fuck it, this is better than that shit. I love old Nick. I love everything this project is doing. I love everything that Grimestone Records is doing, and I'm glad that Grimestone had such a big showing on this list. So yeah, man, fucking awesome. I'll probably talk about this in a vinyl update video at some point too. All right, number one favorite album of 2021. I don't think that this is going to be much of a surprise to a lot of people. I will say that I am absolutely thrilled to be able to put this on a year-end list at number one, because I can't think of another artist that has had the impact that this artist has had on me. And I am, of course, talking about Amigo the Devil with Born Against. Favorite album 2021, undeniably, man. I basically did the closest thing I've ever done to like a track-by-track review of this album in a vinyl update video. And in that video, I went through every song and sort of mentioned what it was about and the way that it sounded. So I'm not going to do that here, even though it is tempting to do so. I will name a few of my absolute favorites. Quiet as a Rat, Murder at the Bingo Hall, Drop for Every Hour, 24 Karat Casket, and Letter from Death Row are probably my favorites. But there's not a moment on here that's anything short of fucking perfection. Every song is very different from every other song, which keeps it interesting from front to back. There's no point where I wish there was more of one type of song. It's balanced perfectly. I mean, I have no complaints. The vocal performance on here is a lot more varied, and it points more grandiose than Everything Is Fine, which I consider to be one of my favorite albums of all time. But, you know, this is just as dark and as fun as that album. I've missed 2 opportunities to see Amigo the Devil in 2021 that I had tickets for, and life just got in the way both times, so hopefully I'll be able to see Amigo the Devil at least once in 2022. But it's perfect. It's literally fucking perfect. I wouldn't change a thing about this album if I could, apart from maybe making it 50 or 60 songs longer. But yeah, I'm thrilled to be able to put this at the top of one of these year-end lists, and I hope, more than anything else, I hope you give this a listen, because this guy deserves all the attention that he gets. And that's it. That makes 25. Well, fuck, I don't know. It was way more than 25 with the shit I talked about beforehand, and then multiple releases making averages and shit. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully I can get back to making vinyl update videos at a regular interval at some point. But until then, thanks for watching. If you have your list written out, feel free to drop it in the comments, and if I see some recurring shit that I've not heard, I'll give it a whirl. Thanks for watching, guys. We will talk soon.
Every word from your fucking mouth, it's like bringing wood to a burning house. Then we'll be here all night till ashes are all we breathe.